Seabreeze, Fluttershy, A True Love by Swedish Dub. One early noon, after Fluttershy had taken care of her animal friends, she decided to take a walk in the forest. But when she was walking, she heard a voice, more like crying. She recognized the sound of the crying, or at least the voice. So she started to follow the voice, and then she saw it was Seabreeze. She was actually wondered what he was doing there. She even walked up to him and asked what was wrong. Seabreeze was more than jumped up in the air and saw it was Fluttershy because if he believed that it was some other predator or a dangerous animal, but he was relieved it was actually Fluttershy, and he fell down and then looked at her and he explained what happened. Earlier the same day, well, at least 2 days ago, Seabreeze was out with his family nearby in the forest for a picnic until something happened. A timber wolf appeared middle of nowhere and attacked his family. Before he could start even do anything, his wife and his daughter were gone. Literally gone. The timber wolf had eaten them. Seabreeze was so much in shock, and he couldn't do anything except screaming, try to attack the timber wolf, but the timber wolf is pushed, and he fell right in the tree and unconscious. He couldn't. When he wake up, he remembers every detail of what happened, and he didn't feel to fly home. So he remained in the forest for the next 2 days until Fluttershy found him. And Fluttershy was more devastated to hear what the news about Seabreeze's family. Fluttershy couldn't see that Seabreeze was still injured and he couldn't fly. So she offered her help to bring him back to her cottage so he could heal and that she could look after him. And even as Seabreeze was stubborn at first, he didn't want to go anywhere because he was still heartbroken and devastated about his news of his family. But to the end, he accepted her offer, and Fluttershy put him on her back, and she flew him back to her cottage. There, she gave him his own bed and started to make some food for him. It took at least a week before Seabreeze was back health again. When he was back to health, Fluttershy often asked if he's ready to go back home, but Seabreeze said, "No, since I don't have my family, I can't go back." Oh, he couldn't go back. He was so heartbroken about this. And of course Fluttershy couldn't feel more sad about this, so she offered him to stay there as long as he needed, even how to recover from such a loss. She knew that it could take months, weeks, or even a year before even someone has gotten over this kind of loss. Or perhaps sometimes never. And sometimes when Fluttershy is taking care of her animals, she could hear Seabreeze crying from inside. She felt so sad because of the loss he had been through. She wanted to help him in somehow, but she didn't know exactly how. So she often asked Twilight and Applejack if they had any kind of advice for helping, since at least Applejack knows how it feels to lose a family member, and and Twilight knows exactly almost since she lost her uncle when she's only about 5 years old. So they often told her that time will heal the wounds. There's only time to help. Stay there, help her and help him to make you go through all the kind of loss he had been through. So Twilight told Fluttershy that she would do anything to help, and she accepted all her advices and help she could get. And when Fluttershy came back home, she started to prepare some a picnic basket just for her and Seabreeze. She thought that maybe a picnic might bring some happiness back. Even picnic was the reason cause of his loss. But if she could bring back some happiness in of that. So she even asked Seabreeze if he wanted to go out nearby just to take a picnic with her. At first Seabreeze said no, 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 I don't. I hate picnics. But Fluttershy looked at Seabreeze and asked once again. And Seabreeze first didn't want to look, but he looked and saw her look back at a sad face. Fine, said Seabreeze, and then followed Fluttershy to the meadow nearby. At first, he didn't want to say anything, to eat anything, but even Fluttershy offered to give him some anything to eat, a pie, some cookies, cupcakes, anything like he can eat. And at first, he didn't want to do anything. He just wanted to go back to the cottage to relax and do nothing. But Seabreeze, he finally get up and start to eat some of this food. And Fluttershy was happy to see that Seabreeze was finally eating something. And she started suddenly singing. Seabreeze didn't recognize the song and started to listen carefully and carefully. It reminded him of his wife singing to her dear daughter. But instead of crying, he was smiling. That was the first smile he did in a long time. After they had their picnic, they went back to the college, and then she asked Seabreeze how he felt. He said that he felt a little bit better, but still down, but a little bit more better than he did before. She even asked if he was going back home, or he was, but she said that he could stay as long as he wanted. And Seabreeze said he would like to stay, since he decided never to go home, because since he lost his family, he had no reason to go back home. Even he had a lot of friends back there, but for him, he didn't felt any kind of home anymore without his family. So Fluttershy offered him that he could stay there, because he had a place where he could stay and feel company. So he did. So for the next couple of weeks afterwards, Fluttershy and Seabreeze have started becoming closer. They have became very good friends. But over time, Seabreeze started to like Fluttershy even more as a friend. but sometimes he leaves the cottage without her know it. But he doesn't go so far, just nearby in some of the trees near her cottage to sit, just to relax, just mourning her loss of his family, but also at the same time feeling his love for Fluttershy is growing stronger for each day that passed. He wanted to say to Fluttershy that he loves her. Even he then realized he is a sea breeze of his one kind species and she is a pony. He thought she would never love him back at the same way, but he needed to tell her. So the same evening, when they had eating their dinner together, he told her that he loved her, and also he realized that even if he didn't love him back the same way, would feel awkward. But he also said that he know that if he did not love him back the same way, he would understand. But before he could finish the sentence, Fluttershy told Seabreeze that she loved him as well, and he was much more stunned about hearing that she loves him. And Fluttershy told Seabreeze that over the last few days she actually fell in love with Seabreeze and felt so much sorry about what he has been through. And she would be there for him, no matter what happens. She would like to even protect him from any danger at any cost. So hearing that made him to start to cry. What he did, he flew right up to her and gave her a kiss on the cheek and said, "I love you." She just smiled and said it back, the same thing. But they both realized Fluttershy's friends probably would even accept or even understand their feelings for each other, so they kept their relationship secret from everyone, included her friend Discord. But after some time, they revealed the secret to their friends, and surprised enough, all of them was actually supportive of their relationship. At first they thought maybe they wouldn't even understand how they feel of each other, but since Fluttershy has been so much kind to Seabreeze, to any other animals, and included this Discord has been in love in Celestia for centuries, but it took him at least almost 1,000 years to tell her how he felt for her. So that was the most story of how Discord found his love in Celestia. But what happened to Fluttershy and Seabreeze over time, over after they had told their friends about it? Well, they actually left Ponyville for a short time to travel to his home so they could spend some time there. But like he said to Fluttershy earlier, he didn't feel home. So he remained in Ponyville with Fluttershy, and they started dating each other for the next couple of months. And just one day, suddenly, Seabreeze even asked Fluttershy to marry him. Fluttershy was taken aback about this proposal, just like that. And she didn't need a moment to think about it. She said yes over and over. She couldn't be more happier. And what happened? Well, the next couple of weeks afterwards, all the preparation for the wedding was much busy in Fluttershy's life, and her family was very happy for her, but also surprised that she was marrying Seabreeze. But they were also supportive. And her brother, well, he wasn't much that disappointed that he always said, "As long as you're loved and happy, I'm happy for you," says that makes her happy. And the wedding was held in Ponyville for the next couple of weeks. Rarity was the one who made the suit for Seabreeze and the dress for Fluttershy, and even was asked to be to bridesmaid, and even Fluttershy was asked Twilight if she could perform the ceremony. And who was the best man to Seabreeze? Well, actually, it was Discord. Since Discord and Seabreeze, at first they didn't have this kind of good relationship. They were kind of enemies at first, but after they both had to spend some time together alone, they started to realize they had so much in common. They both liked Fluttershy as a friend first, but even then, Seabreeze started to love Fluttershy, and Discord was her best friend afterwards. And after the wedding, there was a big party that both Pinkie, Fluttershy, no, Rainbow, and Applejack had organized just for her and Seabreeze. Even some of the Seabreeze's old friends was invited. But back then, he didn't feel any remorse to leave his own home. After some time after the wedding, they went to Seabreeze's old home for their honeymoon for the next 2 weeks. But he decided not to go move back home, but he still remained in Ponyville with his new wife, Fluttershy. And just barely 3 years afterwards, Fluttershy and Seabreeze started to talk about start a family. But since Seabreeze couldn't have any babies with Fluttershy, so they decided to adopt a child together from a local orphanage in Ponyville. And they all adopted at least 2 daughters of their own. And at first, their daughters were skeptical and even scared to have Seabreeze as a father. But at some time, they actually get to enjoy it, that he was a small, but was very strong and brave. Both Fluttershy and Seabreeze was happy to have each other as a married couple. At first, they never thought that this relationship would even last that long. But they are also proud at that this relationship actually worked as much as they could possibly done. And that's how Celeste, Fluttershy, and Seabreeze found their true love, got a family together. The end.